Yeah, I'm gonna say
But still I got so much fixing, working hard, but still I'm getting broken mirrors. Every time I look at one, it falls right to the ground. Broken mirrors. Can somebody tell me where love can be found? Broken mirrors. It's like I can't seem how to figure out to see clearer when I'm looking through a broken mirror. When I'm looking through a broken mirror, I'm looking, wish I could see clearer. And I'm searching, trying to find my way. Trying hard to accept it. First, I need a mirror so I can look at myself and face the pain before another mirror decides to break. Broken mirrors. Every time I look at one, it falls right to the ground. Broken mirrors. Can somebody tell me where love can be found? Broken mirrors. It's like I can't seem how to figure out to see clearer when I'm looking through a broken mirror. When I'm looking through a broken mirror. Every time I look at one, it falls right to the ground. Broken mirrors. Can somebody tell me where love can be found? Broken mirrors. It's like I can't seem how to figure out to see clearer when I'm looking through a broken mirror. When I'm looking through a broken mirror. When I look at you, I see more than me. And then I think about how we were meant to be. You are the only one that I would never leave. Baby, you got my word and the truth you deserve.
Good evening and welcome to Cigar Sundays. I am Chef Earl Pearl at DBCHEFTV, always joined by the illustrious Cigarden Panel with I am Jazz Garcelle and the God
Hello.
Ali Dawood L at BK Soul Farm. Good evening, family. What's going on? Welcome to another episode. How is everyone?
peace,
Good.
power, and
How's
profit.
everybody
What's going
doing?
on?
Peace.
Everything is lovely. Everything is lovely.
That's great. That's great. That's always good. Jazz, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Just enjoying the weekend.
Absolutely.
Ready for another episode of Cigar Sundays. Excited
Let's
about the
do it.
topic, what we're going to be talking about.
Let's do it. We here. We getting it done. Okay. Without any delay, let's go ahead and jump into this evening's topic. This evening's topic is having double standards bad, good, or misunderstood?
Having double standards.
Double standards. You know,
Bad, good,
or misunderstood. Yeah.
Double standards, eh? Well, okay, being the only woman on the panel with lots of opinions and thoughts on this subject. Okay, well, particularly when I think of double standards, I mean, particularly I think about dating world or marriage relationships and certain things that, you know, a man can do that a woman can't do, but it would be the same outcome or the same reaction, basically. But it's like if one gender does it, then it's like, oh my goodness, you're doing that. You shouldn't. But it's so that's what when we get what's called a double standard, something that I mean, you guys know what a double standard is. I mean, that's what we're talking about. But basically that's what I think of it. That's not the only realm that we see double standards, of course, but just in general in life, in politics and entertainment and different things. So I would say definitely double standards can be misconstrued, misunderstood, depending on the situation and who you're talking to. It's different variables that go along with it, you know?
Okay. Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Um, do you think they are useless or necessary?
Do I think that double standards are useless or necessary?
Yeah,
Hmm.
Um,
just in general.
mm, I don't know. It's a little bit of a toss up because I mean, nothing's going to be perfect and black and white in the world. There's going to be, some odd ends, so to speak, double standards of is this right or is this wrong? And people have their own opinions and their only way of thinking. Um, so
Okay.
I don't know.
We're gonna come back to it. I don't know either. We're gonna come back to it. I like all of that.
Okay,
Yo,
okay.
yeah, that's I'm sitting here thinking, and so the choices are good, bad, or we just don't understand them.
That's the first part. Yes. That's the first. That's where we at first. Are they good, bad, or
So I
we
would I would agree
misunderstood?
I would agree with the sister on that on making that choice. I guess it would depend on each individual thing, right? Not to go to the gender thing, but if you look at clothes, so to speak, clothes that bigger people wear versus clothes that smaller people wear. Um, People were like, oh, they make fun of something that somebody that's bigger is wearing versus
But
somebody
a
that's
skinny person could wear the same thing and not get the same reaction.
I, don't, so I'm thick challenged. I don't like the word skinny, right? Like
Okay, sorry.
Take challenge. Me too.
right, like
Wow.
right, but yeah, but it's things like that, right? Like I've heard women at the workplace speak about how um smaller size women could wear certain outfits and they get hand claps and good jobs and wear that again. Bigger
Right.
women will wear the same type outfit or the same exact outfit in their size, and it don't be the same. you know,
That is a double standard, but
Right.
it's some guy that's clapping for the big girls. Like it's your world, baby. So you know, so that's why it's just like there is a prep for everybody. It's somebody for everybody, right?
it's somebody, and that's the thing, right? Like, so if it's somebody for everybody, so I think it's wrong to out our mouth say something about people. I think that's wrong because I think people should be able to wear what they want, like because there's somebody for everybody, right? Somebody gonna like your style. Somebody's gonna like the body that you have. Somebody's gonna like your face. So I don't know, man. It's tricky, right? Like because it's bigger. Is you think double standards, you automatically go to gender war, but
Right,
it's
right, exactly. But
but
it's more
it's
than that. It's more than that.
it's so much more than that. Which is why I guess we don't understand it and why it's confusing. Um,
That's why we talk about it, trying to
why we
trying to get to the bottom
yeah
of it. Because
Trying to figure it out.
we all are affected by double standards. Now,
yeah
I don't want double standards to be confused with having standards.
no
Okay. When a person sets standards for themselves, they're saying, I have to have this like this. I require this. This is a standard for me. That's fine. That usually only involves what you have to do first for yourself, your self standards, what you setting first. Okay. So now when we look at the double standard, that's not just me.
Correct.
That is something that I am requiring somebody else to have. That's a requirement that I require that they have to have first. But I don't necessarily have to meet that requirement. Okay. So that's where we ask the question of, is it useless, is it necessary, or is it manipulation? Okay. That's the third part of it. Is it useless, necessary, or is it manipulation? The
Damn.
reason why, because right. So I'm gonna go real quick. I'm gonna let y'all roll. So the reason why we ask, is it useless, is it necessary, or is it manipulation now, is because if it's useless, all right, then why are we doing it at all? Why do we even do it? Okay. If it's necessary, then we look at the examples where we are exemplifying a double standard, but it may be necessary in that situation. Okay. Then we have the manipulation part of it, where I just want you to do it, but I ain't never gonna do it. It's good enough for
Hmm.
you, but it ain't good enough for me. Okay.
Yeah.
So what y'all think about that right there? We gonna go with that first before we go into the next part. What y'all think about
All
that right
right. Well, I don't like that. I mean, obviously, and I've been in situations, I don't like it. In situations where, you know, it that's the attitude of the individual that's, talking about the quote unquote double standard, that you have to do this, but I don't have to do it. So, but why do I have to do it? Is it because I'm a woman? Is it because you think you're better? Like, what is that about? And obviously, me being the woman that I am, I'm not going to do anything just because you tell me to or because you think I should. I'm going to be, who I am. But it's like, at the same time, when you're with someone, and even out of the context of relationships, you know, you want to express yourself the way that you want to, and have your own opinion about whatever the topic is. But um, you don't I mean, you don't want anyone to have any control over your opinions or your thoughts, and you shouldn't have to be, you know, commanded by a way to act, commanded by their thoughts of how you're supposed to act, um, or how you're supposed to live your life, or wear what they deem as, you know, acceptable, or act in a way that they deem as acceptable. You're your own person. So, you know, with being a double standard, you have to set the tone for yourself, have your own standards for yourself first and foremost. And then, you know, with whoever's around you, your close knit circle or whatever, community, family, then, that's almost like laws. We abide by laws and rules, but standards are more,
Lord,
it's loose.
okay.
It's loosely based, you know.
It's a
I
loosely
mean,
loose
I'm
laws.
not gonna wait, hold
Loose
on, I'm
laws.
getting there.
Come on, I'm
That's
with
not a
you.
lot.
Standards,
Let's
having
let's
a
go.
double standard, that's different. That's, based on someone's own thinking in their head. That's not a law. That's not written, set in stone. It, that's just there. It's
Mm,
almost like a mental, like, almost not a pop culture thing, but just something, a double standard. Like, you know, women play basketball. There's WNBA, right? There's NBA.
Hmm.
But women in the WNBA don't make half as much money as men in the NBA. Now, is that a double standard, or is that because it's just not as popular and command the same dollar as NBA?
I
Is
think
that
the
a bad
second
thing?
answer. I think the second answer is intelligently accurate. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. That just is what it is. And we're talking about a double standard. People go to WNBA, people go to NBA. That's it, you know? But
Right.
most of the time double standards are seen as negative, but I don't think in that situation it just is what it is, you know? And
Okay.
that's the way a lot of them are.
Can I
There's
can I
Western medicine. There's uh-oh, hold
Can
on.
I jump
look,
on real
Back up.
I
quick?
got I'm get to you, God. I wanna ask Jazz something because I want to have fun with it real quick before we
Okay, what's
before
up?
okay. So in relationships, right? If I don't want to be
Yeah,
controlled, I don't want to be told what to do.
Mhm.
yeah.
I don't want to be these things, right? Then is it okay to demand that a person has a certain amount of things established before you get with them and you don't
Yeah,
have
because
those
that's
same things?
well, if you don't have those same things, that's gonna be a little difficult because it's kind of like, you know,
Is that a double
how can
standard
you
though?
yeah, that I would call that a double standard because you're saying, how can you want to have the things that you yourself don't possess? It's
Right?
almost like weird, like delusional almost. Not delusional, but it's definitely weird.
Okay.
No matter what gender you are, like just, we all have our standards and what we like in, in terms of relationships
Right, but that's
and
not
our
a double
requirements.
standard. That's not a
No, that's
double
not a double
standard.
standard. Those are just
Like
standards. Those are your
like
requirements and your standards.
if you say I don't want to date someone that does not have a job, okay?
Right.
That is a standard. You want the other
Correct.
person to be employed, all right?
Mhm.
When
Yeah.
you put a price on it and say they have to make a certain amount of money and you don't make that amount of money, that's a double standard.
Exactly. Yeah, you got to take it a step further for it to be a
I
double
don't know.
standard in some
Yeah,
situations. You don't
that's
you
a
don't
double
agree,
standard.
Ali? What's
Talk to
your
me,
what's
God.
your take on it?
I don't know. Just to go back to the original thing, like, so I think it's all manipulation. And listening to y'all, Bill,
Yeah,
I'm almost positive it's all manipulation, right? Because
yeah,
again, you can have standards like your own personal preferences or your own cultural preferences or whatever, right? Um, but that's not the same as a double standard, right? A double standard is, if again, going back to the big girls wearing a short skirt versus a skinny girl wearing a short skirt, right? Like, somebody showing way more thigh, right? It looks different, right?
Yeah.
To the thing about what you just got finished asking about, the double standard, if you ask for something that a person don't have, I don't know if I agree with that, right? Because I don't know if my partner needs to have what I have. I more especially need them to have what I don't have, right? um
Mm, that's an interesting take on it.
at the beginning though,
I don't know, like,
at the beginning,
I don't know, like, so
ain't nobody building with nobody. We That's traditional, but we talking about
so
currently out here in the field. Yeah,
yeah, I got a traditional mindset, right? So
yeah,
check it out. I don't. So I have a natural mindset, a natural mindset.
right,
Double standards are normal mindsets, right? Like, we talked about the like those things are like social norms. Like, again,
exactly.
it's manipulation because it's all about, again, you wear what you want to wear. You feel comfortable. Somebody's gonna love you. If your standard is this person got to make $100,000 to date me or whatever, but you don't make $100,000, I don't know if that's a double standard, right? Like, I don't know if you could say that. I,
I can't say that because guys don't have that
Yeah,
as
I
an
would say it
option,
is definitely because women do it all the time.
and guys
yeah,
don't
but
have
this
it as an option.
why not? Like, what don't we have as an option? Like, why
I,
can't you
I,
say
it's
you
not
don't?
it's not common to hear a
Right. It's
man
not
say,
like well
I
seen.
need to date a woman that makes this amount of money versus we hear women saying they need to date a man that makes this amount of money. That is a double standard because if you don't have it already, Now, if I'm willing to be with somebody, like I said, if you need a job, if I need you to be employed, that's different. I
Oh,
could
that's
say
completely different.
I don't want to date somebody that isn't employed. All right. I could say I don't want to date somebody. No, I stay on it. I could say I don't want to date somebody that isn't employed. Once I say that they not employed, now I'm adding some extra layers to it when I'm saying you gotta have A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Now, if that was what it was initially, and I only date that, like that's where I'm at. Like you a person who dating that, that's your normal. That's cool.
Cool.
That's you,
That's what I'm saying.
that's your normal. All
Mm-hmm.
right. However, every young lady isn't privy to dating men. Every woman isn't privy to dating the men that make that type of money.
No, that's unreal. I mean, it's just
Yeah,
Okay.
but a lot of this is crazy though, because a lot of this thinking is one sided, right? Is I'm not a woman basher, right? I'm here for the people, right? But a lot what we just got finished saying,
wait a second. You said, but hold on.
because but what we talking about is we saying men don't do something, right? That men don't have options that women do,
No, we
and
didn't say don't. We said it's less common. You
yeah,
don't hear
Right,
about
because
it. It's not on social media that men are looking for women that got money to date. It is the social norm for women to be looking for men with money, and it
which
has
is
been.
which is all
right, as a
manipulation, right? Is
provider, like because
like
since the beginning of
Not
time, the
necessarily
men
to
men
provide, just to get
not
stuff.
just to get stuff, right? Like that
Just to
even
get
that
stuff.
okay, that's true.
even the
I
word
just called it provide. I didn't want to say all that other stuff, but
If you get married, if you
basically,
choose a husband to be a provider, and then you build
yeah,
together
that's true. That's true. Yeah, it's different
in a
than it's just a
natural
guy
state,
that you're dating.
in a natural state. But but
but why would you date somebody that you're not intending to marry? Why would
A
you
lot of people do it just for
stop
fun.
it.
for
You
fun?
already
So
Stop
know. Come on.
so
it.
how do
Stop it, God.
so how do we I'm yo
But I get it. It's an honest question.
no,
I get it.
no, I'm super serious, right?
Oh,
I have a traditional mindset,
Right.
and words have meanings, and we're talking about double standards, and we're talking about standards. We're talking about things that are firm and things that are, not so firm. And if we out here doing real people things, having fun,
Hmm.
it's hard to have conversations about um what's the problem. The problem, everybody having fun,
Correct.
right? Like, so
Correct.
conversation over, right? Everybody having fun,
No,
like,
no, it's not
right?
because the conversation not over just because they having fun, God. You know that. If
Yeah, I'm
we
just
if we
saying,
trying to
like,
get the if we trying to get the community for people to hold themselves accountable, okay?
that's what I'm saying.
So like just reeling it back in. All right. The double standards, we see stuff like it's okay. It's not okay for two men to interact, all right, and call each other bitch ass niggas. It's not gonna happen. They're not gonna be with it. They're gonna fight. It's gonna lead to a
yeah,
conflict, right?
Correct,
So
definitely.
as a man,
correct.
all right, who would not take that and accept that type of energy, communication, or interaction, then why is it okay to go home and call your woman a bitch? Okay.
It is
So that's a double standard. All right.
exactly.
So
Those
we
are the
trying to,
worst kind.
all right. So what we trying to understand
Yeah,
is it's like these things are still double standards because it's good enough for me to do it to you, but I don't need that same thing. Like I don't now you need that, but I don't need to do that. That's a double standard, no matter how it's presented, whether it's a skinny challenged
agree,
young lady
100%.
or a
Definitely.
thick challenged, young lady or whatever the dynamic is, right?
100%. Yeah, nah,
you know, it's still like you said, it's manipulation, it's still a selfish intent.
yeah,
So it's not for the collective, it's not for for having effective communication between the two parties, so they can actually do something, accomplish something together, whoever you interacting with. And that's where
It's dangerous.
it's dangerous, right?
Yeah, like look at all the BBL crisis or scares, right? Like all the women that's having problems because they BBLs is dropping, right? Like they only got them because somebody said that they was hot, and then somebody guy turned around and looked at some girl, and they was like, "Oh, that's what you want," and all the girls started saying, "Oh, that's what all the guys want." So they started going to get them, thinking that's what all the guys want. And the
Yeah, but that's
reality
a
is,
certain type of woman that's doing that. That's the woman that has low self-esteem, that's a follower, that's not comfortable in her own skin that's doing that. That's not the majority of women. It definitely is a lot of women, but
Definitely.
it's not everybody. It ain't everybody. It's
I
some beautiful
apologize.
natural
I
women out here
apologize.
too.
Apologies, sis.
No, no, you don't have to apologize.
I'm not
That's
saying
your opinion, but
no, no,
I had to
no,
put that
no.
out there.
I'm not saying my wife don't have a BBL and she's 100% woman, right?
Okay.
My mother don't, my niece don't, none of my cousins. Like I'm just saying, right? Like the norm, like
Yeah, no, but yeah,
like
social media and media
it has.
definitely makes you feel like the majority of women out here do have BBLs and
Nah, I'm saying I'm
implants
talking
and
about the
all of
women
that.
that got them. Period. I'm talking about the women that got them, the why they got them, right? And the ones that are suffering because they got them. I'm saying that they got them because they was manipulated into thinking that that's what was hot. Is what I'm saying. I'm not. This is not a thing, right? Like I'm specifically talking about the people that were manipulated into doing harm to themselves, right? Because I'm saying that
Oh, okay.
double standards are harmful, right? And
Right.
I'm speaking to a specific harm that I can pinpoint based off a rap video, based off a commercial that's advertising a Geico commercial or something like that, right? Like the weather lady now, everybody is selling sexuality and sensuality, and they got little kids, little girls dressed up sensually and stuff like that, and every time a man says anything about this, women as a collective take a stand in saying, hey, don't attack women. And the guys are saying, hey, we're not attacking women. We are attacking a thing that is being done to our women. And we saying, hey, we need all of us to grab hold of this so our society don't fall apart. Right.
Hmm.
And that's when we start getting into these gender wars and start fighting because when you say the first part was it misunderstood,
Is it misunderstood? Correct.
right? That's how you get to this confusion, and now we fighting over if it's all women or if it's just the women with the BBLs. And the reality is, I'm trying to, we don't want our children being sexy because we got monsters out here.
And we're gonna stay on that because that's one of the other double standards. We're gonna keep that same energy. So we spoke about this before on one of the past lives, and it's all relative because it's all going on.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's a young rap lady with a song, and it's talking about um her vagina being a certain color and her butthole being a certain color.
Oh
All
yeah.
right.
Yeah,
So here's a double standard.
man.
All right. All right. Now, I would like to know, all right, from the people who approved that song to be released, right?
Hmm.
Are they okay with their daughter's first sexual experience being one where she engages in sexual activity in a pornographic, X-rated, triple X-rated way. Okay, her first experience, first. Okay, the reason why I asked that is because when you have babies listening to this music coming up,
This terrible, man.
okay,
Yeah,
that's
it's really
shape
sad.
that's shaping that narrative, that's shaping that, you know, that idea. It's shaping the social fabric of it, okay, because it's influential. That's all.
Mhm.
That's it.
You know, I ain't saying the song bad, I ain't saying it don't jam, all that. I'm
All that.
saying the words are influential and it have an effect, and the effect
Mhm.
is a double standard, because you may not you guys, the people who, you know, whoever, I know we got to filter our own stuff, all
Mm-hmm.
right, but when some stuff hit the airways, it's kind of like it's for everybody.
Right.
So if it hit the airwaves, it's for everybody. Like when it get promoted on the airwaves, then it's definitely, we want everybody to be on this, okay, because you could drop stuff online, we online, it don't matter.
Right.
All right. But when this get promoted, when you put that current behind it, you know, and
Yeah.
it's spinning, you know, then everybody's singing and everybody know it. So I even asked the women who my age, our age, who got babies, who got teenage girls, are y'all trying to go to the
Mhm.
club so y'all can show how y'all thing is still pink and brown?
Mm.
Or or are you okay with your daughter's first uh experience of intimacy being where she get done in all three holes, when it took you some time, to the mothers, it took them some time before they even experienced uh sex in that capacity, you know? So to me, I'm asking, family, is that necessary? Is or is that just a complete manipulation? Because now what happens is young women don't value the one thing that they can't get no more of, all right, and young men don't either, when the seed starts with us first. Like, you gotta, you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
so you should respect the fact that you can create a life and you got to take care of it, all right. But then we got the other dynamic of, is it just all just manipulation?
All of it.
So that
So,
so that way so that way, right? If we can't come together and be intimate, right? So like, peep this. When we are intimate with whoever our person to choose and we being intimate with, that's the only time a human gets peace on earth. The only time. When you get ready, get busy, make love, you are not thinking about the bills,
nope.
rent, the grass getting cut, food, what you got to do tomorrow, work, nothing. You are at complete peace and focus on what you got going on right there in front of you.
Right. That's true.
So why be a whore? Why not share that? Why not value that experience with one person and share that? The only peace you're gonna have until we die. Because every time wherever else we going, guess what? It's gonna be chaos going on. It's stuff we can't control. But that's a peace. That's when you at peace. You have peace. Now the manipulation is that get destroyed through that double standard, because that's what we taught, how we taught to love each other, to be intimate with each other through that social programming. So what y'all think about that, family?
I think that social programming is more proof and evidence of us not having our own culture, right? Because their culture is absolutely manipulating us and got our children doing the most, right? I think it's bananas that I think a lot of this music is dope, like you said. Beats is fire. I don't take nothing for. I don't want to take no money from nobody, but I don't like certain type of sexually explicit or even violent explicit songs, even if you quote unquote radio version, like none of that, right?
Yeah, the
Like
radio version is still bad with some of the songs.
yeah,
It
like
doesn't
none of that,
matter.
right? Like none of that. Like don't I couldn't say shoot as a kid because my mom's it meant because I wanted to say shit, right? So like we knew we
Right.
wanted to curse, right? So like we couldn't even play with it. I'm anti those things being played in the malls, right? Where
Yeah,
everybody
because
can
those
hear
are
it, where
family places.
those are
Exactly.
not even just family, those are like common places for all of society to go to. You don't know my culture, I don't know your culture, you don't know what offend me, I don't know what offend you. It should be like some universal norms where I don't know. I ain't saying all elevator music, but
I mean, I've never heard any like hardcore rap in the mall, but I mean, I don't know
go to
what
the
it's
sneaker
like where
stores,
you're
go to
from.
Liz, go to any of the urban
Oh, in
wear stores.
those
Go
store. Okay, that's right, right. Okay, I don't really go in stores like that, but okay, yes, yes, I see your point. Definitely. Hmm.
right, and little kids be in there singing all the lyrics, doing all these little dance moves, and and it's saddening, right? Because I can't.
Right.
For me, it makes me not like the song. It makes me not like the artist. It makes me start sounding like a hater when all that's really happening is my heart is breaking, right? Because I see somebody who might just be singing a song more than likely don't have any intentions on living the life of a thought, right? They probably just having fun, like
So
like
that's a
They
double
probably don't
standard.
even know what it means. They're
don't
just
even
singing it because they heard it in the car with their mom.
right, like the all again because we don't have a culture that protects us, right? We fall victim to these things, right? Like all the
Right.
twerking and the gyrating and
The
stuff.
negative stuff. Yeah.
Like we as not I'm not saying everybody, but as a collective,
Right. No, no.
we like to twerk and gyrate and show off our bodies and all this other crazy stuff. Um, those things are not healthy though, right? They're not protecting us. They're using our culture, right? Like hip hop to promote STDs, right? To promote reckless sexual behavior, to promote reckless sex, right? Like it's and now you got these people saying that yeah, we say all this stuff on wax and we don't mean any of it. We're not doing none of this stuff in real life, right? So it's
Mhm.
all
Mhm.
manipulation. It's like none of it's real. So like our kids are losing to nothing almost.
It's artistry,
Yes,
right?
I mean yeah,
It's
artistry. Yeah.
artistry, and that's fair, but at the end of
Yeah,
the
no.
day,
I mean,
the
some
inf
of it is artistry. Some of it I
the
wouldn't call
influence,
artistry, but
Artistry.
yeah, the influence that it has, like what we was talking about, like what you was just talking about, when you see the babies in the store dancing, okay, like jazz, like you were saying, when it may be a young lady who doesn't even know what the words mean, but she
right,
grew
she's
into it,
in the
right?
backseat of her
Saying,
mom's car,
okay,
Hmm.
and she's listening.
now
Yeah.
this is the thing, all right. The little baby who's dancing to it, who some adult thinks that is cute,
Mm.
all right,
Right. That's the issue
who's
too.
allowing this to happen, all right, is still going to be
Hmm.
affected by the music because it gets into the psyche. And when you listening to it, everybody has songs that's nostalgic to when they grew up. That was their jams.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so this is a normal process of music, all right, but it's just the type of music that you are listening to, exposed to, for you to develop that taste, all right, and to be influenced by. So, like, I give you an example real quick. If somebody grew up in a certain area, the music of the community was different than the other music. Like in New York, it might have sounded different than in LA. In LA, it might have sounded
Mhm.
different than in Texas. In
Mm-hmm.
Texas, it might have sound different than in Miami, you know? So that it still had an effect on everybody that was listening to it.
Correct.
Okay. And then when we go to jazz, when we talk about the young lady in the car who just listening to it, now who's to say that
Mm,
there won't be a young man that she meets, right?
Like listening to it.
That is listening to it, but understands it though. Okay.
Mm.
And he
right.
wants to try it because his buddies are trying it. And the other little girls, some other little girls are letting those buddies try it.
Mm.
Right? Then what happens is now when he get with her, then
Mm.
he thinking that this supposed to go down like this, okay?
Right, exactly.
Because everybody else
Perpetuated
doing it.
by the song, and she's, singing the song and whatnot.
You see, so we don't know, and God forbid that happens to anybody. But what
Right, God forbid. Yeah.
we saying is these things do happen. This is human activity. But
Yeah.
there are things uh that we are exposed to that influence us to think this way. You know, we nobody's exempt from it
That
because
can't be.
nobody's exempt from it. You know, I
Right.
have
We all
certain
have the
things,
internet. We all have ears. Thank
right?
God that work, and yeah.
And see, I'm an adult. I have the ability to determine what I'm going to expose myself to or not. You know what I'm saying?
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Babies don't.
Because they sit in the
Yeah.
back
When I
seat.
was exactly. And I mean you said it right. Right. But like I worked at a high school before recently,
And
and
pardon me, Jazz, real quick.
all
Pardon me, Jazz, real quick. When I say babies,
sure.
I mean like 18 and under.
Mm-hmm.
When I say
Yeah.
babies, I mean 18 and under. I'm talking about,
Yeah, these
young
were
people.
teenagers. Yeah, teenagers. And you know, they in art class, the teacher would let them listen to music, and they would always want to listen to NBA Youngboy, or Pooh Shiesty, or Little Dirk. And I'm not saying nothing is wrong with like those artists, but if you really listen to the lyrics, like it's a lot of violence and
That's
just
all. That's all drill. They drill artists,
explicit,
right?
yeah, drill artists. So it's basically like murder, about a lot about killing, murder, like shoot 'em up type of stuff, drug usage, and
Yeah, yeah, you
you
shouldn't listen
know,
to that in school.
I mean, yeah, the art teacher let them. It was an emotional support class, so they didn't
Wow.
really get many
Mm.
privileges the way that the other kids did. So when we got out of the classroom for that one period out of the day, we went to art, and she would let them listen to music to calm down. Um, it didn't really work, but I mean, you know,
I
it
I have my own
was
personal
interesting.
issues with the emotional support in schools. But yeah, that's a different show.
Right, right. But yeah, family. So we see that all of this social activity that's going on, and it all looks different, but it all is stemming from a lot of the same influences. Um, just because like everyone's exposed to the same thing.
Right, on social media, on TV. Oh gosh, it's crazy, the technology. And at the school, the kids, they would plan their fights on Snapchat, or they would, get together in groups, and they would, you know, text each other, meet me in the bathroom, we're gonna fight. And then, teachers didn't know, but they found out afterwards, after everything happened, so and so was not in class at this time, so and so was also not in class this time. And I'm not saying that has anything to do with the music, but the way that technology has just taken over, has just exploded, with this generation. Because I mean, when I was in school, I had a big Nokia cell phone, and my first cell phone, and just things were a lot different, even as much as probably 10 years ago, but I was in high school in the 2000s, the early 2000s, and just things were so different. It's like nowadays you have to be very aware of everything, like with kids, with teenagers, with the music, everything. It's changed a lot.
It definitely
I
has
got a question
changed.
for you, Jazz, real quick. Do
Yeah,
you
what's
think
up?
do you think that the social media is the reason for the fights? Like not social media, but the
It
phones.
wasn't a reason.
No, no,
It
not
wasn't a
social media,
reason,
but
but it
the
was like
phones. I'm saying like the phones. Like you said, they was using their phones to record the fights and put and post them and stuff like that.
I
Like,
wouldn't say it's a reason, but it definitely adds fuel to the fire. I mean, kids fought when I was in high school, but obviously, if you have a quicker way of communicating, you're texting all your friends saying, "Meet me at this corner," or "We're gonna fight at this time. Everyone be there." It's gonna be a lot quicker reaction and response, you know,
yeah,
and it's gonna be filmed, taped. You're gonna go viral, it's gonna end up on the news, you know, all of that is like a ripple effect, which I don't remember happening as much when I was in high school.
Unless it
That's
happens
all.
at lunch.
I'm not
Unless
saying it didn't happen. What'd you
or
say?
I said, unless it happened at lunch, and then it's like meet me down the hill after school. So,
hmm
Right, right, of
or
course, yeah.
it's in the
I mean,
morning,
of course.
or it's in the morning, and you don't ruin the day. But I'm talking about,
yeah,
well, I'm talking about before cell phones.
yeah. This
This
is way before itself.
this is
Yeah,
way
yeah,
before cell
totally.
phones.
I'm not saying that stuff didn't
This
go
is like
down.
we ain't gonna be
Obviously, we had
suspended,
normal things.
but we
Yeah, we
won't.
had normal things happening. But now that technology has boomed and there's so many more advancements, things are happening quicker and people are seeing them. It's not that it didn't happen before, it sure did. It just wasn't on the internet or recorded or
Correct.
made the news. It happened, you know?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Which I guess you could say is a good thing or a bad thing, depending on what the situation is, you know?
See, so you mentioned the drill rappers, and again, like I feel like soon as that's why I say it's all manipulation, right? Because as soon as you start to talk about any one of these things, there's always a kind of like a logical reason for it, so to speak, or a justification that you can say. Um, yeah, they don't get a lot of support, they don't get a lot of love and hugs, so this is their time to express themselves, and I get it, right? Like I'm not, I didn't mean to sound facetious when I was trying to just be using an example, but at some point, like it just got to be right is right, right? Like I get artistry, I get adults can listen to whatever adults want to listen to. There's absolutely no way to police any of this stuff, right? Like, because
Mm-mm.
I'm anti censorship.
Right. Right.
Right.
It's a double standard.
There we go. That's the double standard
It's
right
a
there.
double standard.
Right.
Exactly.
And
I don't want to be censored, but some of that stuff needs to be
But some of that
censored.
so
should
and
be
I'm not even saying it
right.
need to be so am I saying it need to be censored if I'm saying it just need to be someplace over here where like AM and FM radio stations, for instance, right?
Hmm.
Those are public airways. So any free listening ears could hear and have access to those things.
Yeah.
I think anything that promotes violence or sex or anything like that should never ever be allowed on those things because those are open to everybody. If you
Censorship.
say again,
That's censorship.
that is
That's
Yeah,
censorship.
that's
yeah,
censorship to the
it
highest
is.
power. That's tricky. You can't do that because then they'll be, you know, shoving the freedom of speech down your throat, and you know, uh,
It is,
yeah.
Doc.
Because I remember,
It's
I remember reruns of when all this stuff was going down with the NWA, and people were Congress or somebody was talking about the same thing you're talking about, censorship. And they had the song, F the police, and just their whole persona and image, NWA. They wanted to censor them. And I mean, it didn't really happen. I guess they tried, but you can't censor something it's a public art form. Like that's what they do.
No,
Whether,
but let me
huh?
finish though. Let me finish. So I'm not
Okay.
saying that they can't play. I'm not saying that they can't make their music. I'm just saying that should be on something that's paid for. That's
Like Sirius
private.
XM or something.
Yeah, like something that is not public consumption, right? Like you just can't get you can't turn your radio station to Sirius XM unless you pay for Sirius XM, and then the person
Right. The
is
subscription.
taking accountability and responsibility for their car and for their child's airwaves and stuff like that, versus I'm listening to Ricky Smiley in the morning and there's something crazy come on. I don't know. Maybe that is censorship. I don't know. I know I don't like it. Right. I'm not. I think everybody should have the right to say whatever you want. Right.
But do you?
I do, and I also think that you should stand 10 toes down for the consequences for how somebody feel about that. Right. You know, we don't have no control over nobody else but ourselves. So while I can say what I want, I can also hear what I want, even if somebody's not talking to me. And seeing as third party complaints are real, I can overhear your conversation with somebody else and be offended by it and report that, you know, I
That's
don't know.
wild.
Um,
That's wild. That's very
Which
wild.
is why I'm saying, right? Like if it's on public radio and public TV,
oh, okay. So you're talking about when you just said you hear someone talking. Are you talking about on the radio or are you talking about like
no,
on the
I'm
bus? Like,
I'm talking about in real life on a bus at work. If
uh,
like
I mean,
no such thing as really a private conversation, right? Like even if you're on a bus and
mhm.
having a conversation with somebody and somebody feels like the urge to interject, you are now about to have a conversation with this person about how they don't have the right to interject. Or you're about to have a conversation about whatever it is you was already talking about, right? Because
Right.
you can't stop them from using their mouth. You know what I'm saying?
See, that's because the places, right?
The-
The place where you are supersedes the idea of privacy. So
which is what
like,
I'm saying.
right. So like on the bus, it's a public place. You're
Right.
not private on the bus.
It can't be private on the bus.
Because can't nobody do that if you in the car with somebody and y'all just riding and talking.
Right.
Correct.
Okay.
Exactly. It's just you and them.
At work, most places of employment have a code of ethics or some type of
Mm-hmm.
employee bylaws or something like that. So
Hmm.
it's you're not in a private setting. I mean, you're not in a public setting. You at a private setting. Matter of fact, you in your employer's
Mm-hmm.
private setting.
Mm-hmm.
So there are rules laid out, you know, and that's just what come with going there to go get that check,
Mm-hmm.
you
Hmm.
know. Um, but I do see how just in general, people do tend to get offended off of like some things like quote unquote something that don't have nothing to do with somebody else. Don't have nothing to do with them. Okay. We centering this around the things that everybody gets affected by,
Yeah. Double
you know,
standards. Yeah.
because like when they release that song on the radio or any song that's like that any song like the love songs back in the day was about love.
Right.
Okay. So,
I mean, some of them were about making love, but it wasn't explicit. It wasn't like that.
like even some they weren't vivid. Okay. See, like
Yeah, that's
the,
it. Yeah,
the
they weren't
problem
vivid.
isn't
It
with it
wasn't.
being explicit, you know, because you could say, uh, You know, I will let me lick you up and down till you say stop. Right?
Right.
Real quick though, if
Okay.
you can remember that song didn't come on until at nighttime.
Oh, really?
Not where I was at. That was on the radio playing the
Not
Harry
not
Rich.
not all day.
Yeah,
Not
all
all.
day. It was a hit where I was. You know what I'm saying? So like you heard it on the radio at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. You might have heard it on a morning show, jamming. Yeah, because it was a hit.
I
So
remember it being a
Right.
hit. I
Was
just
a
don't
hit. I
remember it being
remember.
all day. Yeah, I got you.
yeah, I remember. Yeah, they run them all day. But that's different than
It's super different.
that's different than my so and so brown and my so and
Ugh,
so pink. Like that's vivid. That's just like
crazy.
what at least you know, if I was singing the song, a girl could tell me you don't even know what to lick up and down. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you don't know what right. It's
You
more
see, like I could be like, oh, I
yeah.
want, you know, like you don't even know what you doing, blah blah blah, whatever. You might get that at that age, being introduced to that song in a first experience. Okay,
Right. Something appropriate.
and it, and
Like
it may not and it may not even lead to all that. You know what I'm saying? It may be sensual, you know, other body kisses or whatever. You understand what I'm saying?
Correct. Correct.
So
Correct.
it
yeah,
don't
definitely.
so it don't just have to be on something on first shot. You know what I'm saying? It don't have to be on I have to lick her. I have to perform oral sex. You know what I mean? It don't have to be that.
Right.
But
It could be anything. Yeah, with
right,
that song.
right. But my so and so brown and my so and so pink, man, it ain't no mystery in that.
That's direct. That's
None
direct.
It ain't
whatsoever.
no mysteries. It's no mysteries in that. You know, so that's why I say like it that appears to be a double standard, you know, and everybody get affected by it. It ain't just, you know, the people who choose to listen to it, because everyone still gets affected by it socially. So it begins to shape mental narratives, and then you have like you even have older people who that's not even part of their like, you know, like if you looking for the new song to come out, I could see if you in your 40s and you looking for the new Busta Rhymes joint to come out, or you looking for that new
Right.
Tribe Called Quest record, or an Avant record, or you
Hmm.
know what I'm saying. And I'm just naming people. That don't mean I listen to these people, but I'm just saying like that era, a new
Yeah, like
Jay Z record.
someone
You know what I mean?
mhm.
Like you looking for that stuff, okay? But but if you looking for the new young girl that you old enough to be their mother, sometimes even a
Yeah,
grandmother, and that's whose energy you want to be on,
it's crazy.
you know, and we seeing that, you know, so then there's a double standard for them women. Is it a double standard for those mothers to be like, well, I don't think you should be out here doing that, girl, but you know what I'm saying? Is it a double standard for them fathers to be like, yeah, I'm out here knocking them down? You know what I'm saying? And then, but son, you should have a wife, and you know what I'm saying? Is that what
Hell
we
yeah,
see?
because they're not living the life that they want their kids to live. That's how can you preach what you should, that goes back to that say, practice what you preach.
Is that do as I
How can you
say, do as I say, not as I do? Is that a double standard? Is that useless or necessary, or is that manipulation?
I think it's I
It's
think
all
it's
manipulation.
I don't think that one is because you can learn from what people did in the past. Learn from what they did or what they didn't do and not do it or do it depending on what we're talking about.
So
But they're telling you, do as I say, not as I do.
correct.
Meaning, don't let my actions be reflective of who I am. Believe in my word,
Correct.
and I could tell you anything, but you're gonna know when it's real by what I do every single time. You will not be fooled. Remember, Maya Angelou said, when somebody show you who they are, believe them. She didn't say when somebody tell you who they are, believe them. She said show you, because you could see it, unless you just want to be like, oh, nah, that ain't happened to me. That ain't real. Oh, nah, you ain't really like that.
Mhm.
That whole you ain't
Yeah.
real, you ain't really like that, like all that. That's all manipulation, right? Like I'm listening. We
What do you
talked
mean?
about
What do you mean it's manipulation? Like, what do you mean by that?
cause what's real, right?
What do you mean?
Like what's real. Like again, we say keeping it real, as like it means something the same way we say that we have a quote unquote black culture, right? We think is real. We think is a standard. Um, a lot of young men and a lot of young women are in prisons and in graveyards, keeping it real, right? Everybody trying to figure out what that is. And to most people, keeping it real got to do with the most uh debaucherous behavior and activities, right? Like it's
Yeah, and I'm not trying to sound like cruel or rude, but
mhm.
like that's their decision that they wanted to do that. I'm not saying that it's
I
like
agree. I agree, but
that's how.
what I'm saying is their decisions was influenced by the social construct, right? The influencers that so these kids will tell you like the folks that do the drill music,
Uh-huh.
the argument would be they doing drill music because y'all said that these young boys wasn't telling the truth. They wasn't living out their raps. So they actually started doing real things and leaving bodies laying on the floor for real to be real so that their music can be accepted, right?
Well, I mean, yeah,
But the
but
people that were telling them that were not living out that stuff in their raps or in their lifestyles. They was just making an excuse to not support this young brother or this young sister, right? So now we got this whole genre about murder, explicit murder, right? All for the sake of people saying that, hey, you gotta tell the truth, right? Go out there and write about your real life. And it's not just murder, is the other side of that coin is the suicide guys that's all depressed, right? And taking pills and
I mean,
drinking so
depression is
much.
real. I feel like depression is a real illness. It's for real. I don't know what drill rappers or whatever are really truly going through it, but I feel like that is not something that you should play with or take lightly. Like people are depressed and or suicidal. They might, I mean, it might be true or authentic when they rap about it. It might not be. But maybe that's the way that they're getting out their pain by rapping about it.
So so there's a rapper that I love, right? Like he got a couple joints that I just love. But his last
Mm-hmm.
track, um,
Who is that?
Rod Wave, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've
Um,
heard of
uh,
him.
yeah, like his ghetto gospel album, I really like that. It connected with me, right? But he got a recent
Mm-hmm.
project where the music is cool, right? Kind of the same old, but his visuals to one of his lyrics, he's actually says in one of his lyrics something about he gets so high that he fell out a window, he jumped out the window or whatever. Um, but then he performs that scene on stage in front of all these kids.
Uh-huh.
And I'm saying to myself, this all of this music is depressing. This whole genre of music is a depression genre of music, right? Um, is
Uh-huh.
it beneficial or is it scary to a parent to see my child's influencer actually getting so high and jumping out the window at a concert, right?
Yeah.
Like,
But I mean, that's where you,
will the kids reenact that scene when they leave the concert? Do
I
we
mean,
care?
hopefully
Do
not.
we care about that? Like, when we have these conversations, are we talking about the kids that are being affected, or are we just talking about the people that are influencing? Because I don't necessarily care about Rod Wave, but when I saw all of the people that was watching him, right, and
Hmm.
I look at my son's friends who have committed suicide in real life, um,
Hmm.
acting out a lifestyle that looks very similar to to what's depicted in that type of music. I'm trying to be real gentle, right? Um,
Hmm.
The influence is there.
the influence
See the
is there.
results of the influence.
I see the
That's
results of the
Yeah,
influence,
it's
right?
definitely there.
So yeah, it's nuts. Like, it's all manipulation, right? Like, it's all, because if they're not doing it, I think that's bigger than if you say you want somebody making a certain dollar amount, but you don't have the money. I think because that's a personal contract between two or more people, depending on your relationship status, right? Two consenting people are saying, I'm choosing you based on my standards. I accept and I choose you based on my standards. And then they become together,
Right.
and now they partners. Different than I'm gonna put this image or this music or this vibe. What's up, girls say? It's a vibe. It's a vibe, right? Like,
For sure.
I'm gonna put this
Right.
out there so much, whether it's
Hmm.
good, bad, indifferent. I'm gonna just put that marketing money behind it and just push it and push it and push it and push it and push it to where now everybody's like, oh, put her on stage because this is a vibe. And now you got people in Wendy's talking about it's a vibe. You got people walking through the mall talking about it's a vibe. And it's all a vibe. And it's like, is it? Or is that just
yeah,
what
but
we
that,
do?
Right.
what it would see that's the comparison, the cross comparison is apples to oranges. The comparison is not apple to apples because having a standard for yourself is a standard. That's
That's
my standard.
completely
Correct.
different than,
Correct.
By saying by putting out imagery, all right, by perpetuating a narrative, a false narrative, all right, that's a low vibrational frequency too, all right, because I understand depression. I leave it at that.
Facts.
All right. So because it's low vibrational, all right, but then you not depressed. It's an act. I'm not taking all these pills. I'm not
right.
jumping out of windows, right? So that is a double standard. I'm going to use it because I need to say these things because that's what people think is cool. All right.
That's what I'm saying.
So I can get money
Yeah. And
to
we don't
take
know
care of
which
the people,
rappers it's really true and it's not.
to take care of the people
We'll
that I
probably
need to
never know.
take care of. So once I
Hmm.
do that, all right, now I'm creating a double standard. Now I'm not, now it's not a standard. It's having a standard is saying, you know what, I'm not going to promote this. I'm not going to do this because this
Right.
isn't something that I would want my children to see. This isn't
Hmm.
something that really represents me. You know, that would be having a standard. Having a double standard, another one that correlates directly with the influence from a lot of the rap music. All
Hmm.
right, it's like it's like when people do adult films, okay, but then they like, I don't want my children to see this, but everybody
Right.
else's children is exposed to it.
Yeah,
you know. So that's a
Mm-hmm.
double standard.
Doesn't make any sense.
that's that's
Complete double standard.
that's a huge double standard.
You know,
A lot of those influencers in hip hop and whatever say that, at least say on interviews where I don't know if it's real or not, that they don't let their children listen to their music.
yeah,
But
A
everybody else
lot of them
child
do say
is
that.
but everybody else child is perfectly fine to be affected.
perfectly programmed. You know,
That's
Mhm.
imitated, emulated. You know what I'm saying? Go try and do everything I said to the
uh,
max, to the fullest.
let me know how that worked out. That's crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's messed up.
you know, and that's what's going on. Like we see, like I tried it. You know what I'm saying? Doing when I was a youth. You know, I was young and doing foolish and stuff. I tried it. So everybody have their time. You know, we just looking at like how many people tried some stuff and then they see like now, like, hold up, this stuff just getting worse. When we was listening to it, it wasn't as dangerous. You know,
Exactly.
like now it's a lot more dangerous. Just like our parents when they came up, it wasn't as dangerous,
Mm-mm.
you know. And then when they seen us coming up, they like, oh y'all ain't got good sense. Okay, now where we at with it?
Oh my God. It's
Man, it's
crazy
crazy
now.
now.
It's
It's
out of
crazy now.
control.
You know,
It's
so
scary for their kids to, I mean, I can't even,
right, the grandbabies, babies, great
right.
grandbabies, the twos and threes right now. You know,
Hmm.
so like that's why I like us having these conversations and examining this stuff. Because I know when you go online, these conversations ain't being had. You know,
Not at all.
it's some people
Not real.
not for real, nah. It's some people who hit some points, you know, and I'm cool with that. Like I dig it when they hit the points. But just to have a full dialogue, like, and that's what we stay on.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, because and then keying on these things like the double standard, because
Hmm.
that's really what it is. Like that's the crux of it. It's a double standard. You know,
Yeah.
how do we and some double standards are useless. Sometimes it seems like they some are necessary. But one thing we can say is that the majority of them are manipulative.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a necessary one. Uh,
I think that like in a necessary one could be, even though it is a double standard, right? But I think it's only to the point where the child acknowledges it, all right? Where
Hmm.
you may be dealing with a child and you like, look, just do what I told you. Don't pay attention to what I'm doing. All right.
mm,
But if that child is intelligent enough to challenge you on that, then
Yeah.
you need to not lead like that. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's what you doing. I'm trying to do what you doing. You know?
and they doing that at 2 years old, 3 years old.
You see?
Yeah,
Mhm.
So then it's like,
I
no.
see what you're saying. Yeah,
It's like, no, you got to give them the real. You know what I'm saying? You got to teach them how to do it right. Because
because
that's what
they're only gonna do it wrong because that's what they keep saying you do over and over and over again.
exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. That's their main example. So they're probably gonna, you know,
And they
want
acknowledged,
to do that.
they acknowledge the difference. Like, hold up, why you telling me to do something you ain't doing?
Hmm.
That's discernment at its infantile stages, like that's developing. So you got to nurture that. You know, that's when we identifying that, because they able to know when you telling them, the main person. Remember, it's the holidays coming up. Remember when we thought
Yep.
how the holidays really was? You know, that it was somebody coming with some cookies and all
yeah.
this other stuff. with a
Yeah.
bag and flying down the chimney, and you don't even
Yeah,
have no chimney and all
you
that.
ain't got no chimney.
You don't even have no chimney.
Don't even have no chimney. You like, yeah, he coming. Nah, I'm going to sleep early and all that, right?
Yeah, wow.
This was a double standard. This was the first time our parents made it okay to tell a lie.
Mm.
Because then what happens is now they're taking away all of their hard work, all of their sacrifices, all of the stuff that they do to make sure that you have this stuff. So you don't feel like you going to school and your other friends had it and you were the less
Yeah.
than and all this stuff, right? But they give
Mhm.
all the credit to a imaginary thing instead of teaching us the value of sacrifice and working hard and having to put
Ooh,
that together. You know what I'm saying? Of what
which
we
is
got to
which
do to get
is
this together for you.
which is
Because
all manipulation. Because there's no benefit, right?
the benefit.
It's all just how to be good so that you get presents or whatever. Don't be a good person. Don't do the right thing that we taught you in this house. Um, is that time of year, so you got 2 weeks, get it together, kind of thing. Got to get these good grades. Yeah,
Right.
that last minute, let me clean up before mommy get home, type thing.
Right. Right. So those things right there, they had a lasting effect. Because you could
Yeah.
be surprised at how many people still kept doing it, knowing daggone well
Mm.
that they claws, you
Yeah.
know. So, these double standards, gotta stop somewhere because just
Everywhere.
that
They gotta
little
stop everywhere.
that little stuff like that'll make you be like, well, how you gonna lie to me? Like when everybody find out, I don't know what age people be when they find out, you know what I'm saying, what's really going on. But let's say it's 7 or 8 years.
Mhm.
7 or 8 years old. Let's say if it took that long. Let's say if it was some kids who was, I remember some dudes who was like 9 and 10. Like, what? You still believe? You know what I'm saying? But
Damn.
Wow, yeah, and that's
you know,
young
like,
too.
hey,
You said
man,
that's young?
we gonna beat you up. But but you know what I'm saying? But seriously though, now how can like once we start getting grown, how you gonna look me in the
Mhm.
face and tell me not to lie to you?
When for the first 7 years or whatever, which they say are your foundation years where things become concrete, you just
You just
lie
lied
consistently
consistently, and I never got to learn the true value of you,
of working hard, of your
your actions,
sacrifice,
your sacrifices,
right?
providing,
The
loving,
value of work ethic, none of that,
none
right?
of that.
I got
Never.
a story, and based on this story, I'm a adjust my behavior so that this fat dude can come down my chimney that I don't have, to put presents under a tree that I might not have.
That that also don't have.
All right, but hopefully, oh, the weather outside is frightful.
Hey, let it snow, let it. Hey, I'm in the spirit this year. I'm doing things I never done before. I'm loving it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my goodness.
I am for real. I'm doing it. I ain't, I'm doing things I never done before. We trying
Yeah,
new
that's
things,
dope. That's dope.
but I'm loving the reason why, what got me doing it,
Hmm.
and I'm enjoying it. So yeah,
Good.
shout out to
That's dope.
everybody out there. Enjoy their holidays. Have a magnificent new year, all that wonderful stuff. But yeah, you know, I got lied to too about,
Yeah.
the 25th.
The 25th.
you know, and I and the thing is like, man, it was I often imagine how the value of would be different, how we would value things differently if we weren't taught to do it that way. If it wasn't the practice, the programmable practice to do it that way, to actually share with these little humans who are going to be big humans one day and have some other little humans that they responsible for that they might make or create, you know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
they're going to be in the same situation. And it's just like, what's more beneficial? Is it
Mm-hmm.
more beneficial for them to know that like this is what it takes to make this happen, or to be in
La
like
La Land.
you know, and then you know get to a certain age and realize like, oh, this is a struggle. I ain't know it was like this, and this is, and it's deflating because now it
Right.
feels like I have to do this because it's a social norm, and if I'm not doing it, then I'm less than, you know, or I'm poor, or I'm broke, or I'm extremist, or you black power, or you just that. Like you can't just be like, bro, I'm just,
Man.
you know what I'm
which
saying? Like I don't
which
have no
opens
money for it. You
which
know?
opens the door for so many things, right? It opens the door for the depression music. It opens the door for the drill music. It opens the door for the prostitution thought music, right? Like because like real life is scary, and they not prepared. And it's like, yo, you lied this whole time, and now I need how much for rent? I need how much for light? I gotta go to work every single day. I can't take no days off. We just don't get days off. My son told me, he was like, yo, daddy, if you go to work early, right, you know, if you do that, maybe one day your boss will say, you know what? You know, you're such a good employee. You get to work early every day. You deserve a vacation. Go take 2 weeks off with your family on us. I was like, man, that's a great idea, son. It's like the real world over
Aw,
there.
that's cute. How old is your son?
At the time he was like 7, right? But he about to be
Right,
15, so
yeah.
You might get sunshine libo, but that's
yeah,
about it.
Wow.
he was consoling me one day after one of my rough days, and that's what he told me. That was his advice for me, right? All I could do was smile because because that's how innocent it
That's
was
sweet.
to where
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you know he don't know.
yeah.
Right.
All right, but we
Yeah.
double standards are a problem. We need to focus on the first set of standards, right?
Having self standards, right?
Having self standards.
Having
Right.
self standards.
Like because
Knowing
I
what you require for yourself first.
yeah, I think
Exactly.
we are too normal and not natural enough, right? We don't know what we want for ourselves. I want what Pearl like because it look cool on Pearl, right? So I want the same
Mhm.
kind of woman, I want the same kind of house, I want the same kind of car, right? And
Mm-hmm.
not really,
Not
right?
really.
That's I'm not Pearl. That's Pearl,
Yeah,
right? I don't have Pearl swag. I got Ali swag, right? So I need my type of girl. I need my type of house. I need my type of life, right? I need my type of happiness, right? And it don't conflict
Right.
with my brothers. It don't conflict with my sisters,
yeah.
right? Like there's no pressure.
It's never no pressure when you champagning the people's
You
champagne. It's
know what
never
I'm
no
saying?
pressure.
You know what I'm
We
saying?
on the same team, you
You know
know.
what I'm saying? Team, like live
We
your
on the
life.
same team. Like you're supposed to want to see your man come up, like take me somewhere. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
shoot, like if I got you
Exactly.
here and then you could get me up there, let's go. You know
Yeah,
what
you
I'm
know,
saying? Like
let's go.
yeah, let's go. Yeah, we working together. But it is part of this social dynamic where we see so much of this going on. Um, and that stuff is even useless because the people who that's one thing that I was saying about I was having a conversation offline with a guy and he was talking about some of the things that we've been seeing with some of the entertainers um with kind of like their double standards that have been getting them caught up.
Oh man.
Okay. And And I said one thing about it though is what I think all of the social media misses is this. Camille still with Bill
Yep.
through the bid and everything.
Yep.
Yeah, right. And
And,
George,
and
Hillary stayed with Bill too.
now
The other Bill.
I'm not talking about them people. I,
Mhm.
Uh,
I'm talking about Will Jada still with Will.
Yep.
yeah,
Okay.
Or Will is still with Jada, depending on how you want to see
They together.
it. They together.
You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? They together. And because that's like who else we had? We ain't really had nobody else that was married. That
Mm-mm.
that we've seen be bulletproof. You know, that it don't matter. They showing you that we love each other. No matter what. No matter what he go through, no matter what I go through, whether it's public, whether it's private, we gonna be together. Don't forget, whoever watching this, don't forget to pay attention to that. While
Facts.
everybody's on the first chakra, worried about what Bill doing with his thing,
Mm-hmm.
and while everybody worried about what Jada doing with her JJ and what Will doing with his thing, that's their private business. But what you need to pay attention to though is how the fact that they love each other unconditionally and they rock with each other and stay with each other no matter what. No matter what y'all think, no matter what I think. Salute to that. Because
yeah, that's
what we have is too many people giving up. Too many people not
yeah,
willing to compromise, not willing to learn each other, not willing to share, not willing to be vulnerable with each other, not willing to talk. Okay. Too much double standards where I'm not going to do this if you don't do that. Nothing genuine. That's genuine. That's one thing we could say, no matter how bad people feel about Bill, whatever he's done, he's had to deal with that. He got to deal with that himself, his own conscience, as his own man. All
mm-hmm.
right. So do Will and Jada, whatever they want to do. That's their personal life. Who cares, man?
That's
You know
their
what I'm
personal
saying?
life.
But at the end of the day, we know they public people. You know, we know they do public things, but
Correct.
they actually not public people like that.
Correct.
You know. But guess what? They together. While everybody out there trying to figure out how to find love, how to try to keep somebody, even in
Mm-hmm.
all they
Right.
chaos, what appears to be chaos to y'all, okay,
Yep.
they still together. And they happy about it.
Yeah.
Okay. They happy about it. So that's where I, you know what I'm saying? I think that some of them things, man, we got to pay attention to the real good stuff of it. A lot of times, soon as the negative stuff happen, everybody be distracted by that and they just be focused on that. Not able to look past the surface of, okay, this person is human. You know,
Exactly.
This person is human as well,
as well.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Because as well, right? Because we all human. We all the same. We all got the same crap we dealing with, right? And personal standards is what you said the first standard was, right?
Personal standards is the most important first.
Right.
Of course.
Camille and Bill both have personal standards, right? I need this from you. She said, I need this from you. And they get that. Whatever he do or whatever she do that we might see, those things might not have nothing to do with their personal standards for each other, right?
Right, right.
Right.
They public stuff don't
Might
have
not have might not have nothing to do
with their
with
conversations in the bedroom. That's
with the,
them. That's their
that
business.
that's their business. That's their business, right? And there's no way for anybody outside that relationship to have a say so or even a thought about it or a valid thought about it, right? Because you're not
Hold up.
paying.
It's a way, God. It's
I
called the
mean, just go. I mean, I
internet.
guess,
But you know, we gotta keep it focused.
but
But but I feel you though.
Like,
I feel you.
I got a bunch of Ali-isms, but that's what they is. They Ali-isms, right? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. We got them.
Uh,
Yeah. But I gotta get up out of here, guys. It's 9:30. But
Okay.
as always, enjoy the conversation and the reflection and the message of today. The topic was incredible. Glad we
it's
got to
tough.
discuss it.
Well, give us your
And
closing thoughts on it though, Jazz. Before you go, give us your closing thoughts on our double standards, useless, necessary, or just manipulation. Before you go, I
I
am
think
Jazz Garcelle. She gonna let us know what's going
I
on.
believe that double standards, they can be necessary in certain situations, but the majority, they're kind of negative. Because when you're talking about, like, you laughing like, "Ooh." Yeah, but I mean, in my opinion, most of them are the majority or negative because either you're talking about gender role issues or relationships or, manipulation in certain aspects of life, but then you have like the basketball thing or you have, whatever, something else. But you always have to have you have to have a standard for yourself and set yourself um
hmm
on a pedestal as having your own standards for yourself and being, righteous in your own thoughts and um qualities before you can even think about what you bring to the table for something else or someone else. um yeah. um
That's what's up. Thank you, Jazz. That's amazing. That's
Thanks,
cool.
guys.
Yeah,
Have a good
thanks,
night.
guys. All right, good
Thank you,
night.
everyone. Follow me at I am Jazz Garcelle.
All right, Jazz.
Peace.
Have a good night. And yeah, yeah, fam. But definitely these double standards definitely are taking a toll psychologically. Um, I think especially on the people who not paying attention to it, you know, who not examining. And I know a lot of people don't. We just go through life, and the things that we learn is like, all right, that's the things we learn. We cool with that, and because
That's
I
crazy.
don't, yeah, because like continued life education is not encouraged. You know, like uh, like it's
That's it.
okay.
That's interesting.
It's cool for me to be like, yeah, I'm going back to school to get a degree, right? Like that's cool, but that's to get some more money.
Not more
That's
education. Yeah,
that's not to be more intelligent, be better at
correct.
my. That's not to be better at my relationship communicating
Correct.
with
That
my
is
wife.
more money. Yeah.
That's just to go and be to. That's my professional goal.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, and in comparison to that, like I still need to be practicing and working on something to facilitate, that communication with my player partner. Like we together.
hmm
It's my ride or die. Like we gonna be together no matter what, whether it's what I'm saying, whatever titles it is, we made our mind up that this is what we doing
hmm
every day, and we're gonna get up and put the effort into it, you
Yeah.
know. So without a title, just with the actions being reflective of the true feelings and matching my words. All right. Even the actions matching when the words sometimes don't match up, but the actions still let you know, like, yeah. What I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. I'm tracking.
You
I'm
know,
tracking. Yeah.
the actions still let you know, like, yeah, even though we might not have our words together right now. Okay. But you always gonna believe what somebody do. Um, and I think that these double standards that we have somewhat hinder people from continuing to learn to evaluate, do I need to learn about that? Is that something that I can possibly do different and have a different result? You know, can I do something? It's no different than if you're doing something with your finances. You got to start first.
Got to start. Yeah, no, it's all a trap, bro. I can't. I'm even sitting here, thinking about the parent child scenario, and then I'm thinking to myself as a parent, every time I've told my child do what I'm saying and not what I'm doing. I didn't say the rest of the sentence. I didn't provide any context for why it is I'm being contradictory, right? Which probably meant that I was doing something that I probably shouldn't have been doing, or not leading by example, right? I can't think of a. I know parents say it all the time, but I think even in those situations, they're saying it knowing they're doing a quote unquote wrong thing, or they setting a bad example, right? So I think it's just a matter of, it all comes down to personal standards and living by them, I guess, right? Or
As a parent, you in control of the situation. So
yeah,
so you're
yeah,
not, so it's not
yeah,
negative.
but
It's
but I
not
was using
negative.
it because you brought it up in an example, right? So it's like,
Yeah, yeah.
but yeah, as a parent, you're gonna do whatever you got to do to make it from cradle to your 18 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You just got to make it.
Oh no, it's for life. It's for
It's for
life.
life.
It's
Yeah,
for
but
life.
I'm liable till 18. But yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay, okay. Okay.
That's what they say, right?
Okay, okay, okay. If you say so. If you say so.
Yeah, right.
You know? But definitely, um, it is one of those, it's just one of them examples where I've been
Yeah,
a child myself, and that's where I pulled it from.
yeah,
And I was wondering, like, I just take from, a lot of times, me taking from my own personal life experiences, things I deal with people, with my own human interaction, whether
hmm
it come from personal experience, or professional experiences. Um, and that was one that I was just one, I already knew the answer. Like, you a child, like,
You're a child.
you know what I'm saying? Like you don't have a choice.
You have no choice.
And I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm okay with parents who think like that, because you're
Yeah, yeah,
responsible for everything.
for everything,
You're
and yeah,
responsible for everything. So I get that. Um, but I wonder, just in certain situations that are teachable moments,
yeah,
where it's like, do as I say, not as I do. But we doing something together, you know, and you telling me to do something,
yeah, yeah,
you know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah,
And you
yeah,
not doing it. So
yeah,
it's like, if the child can acknowledge that, and as the adult, and a lot of adults may have never been introduced to this perspective. Some people have, like, oh, that's old news, man. I've been doing that. Okay, cool, great.
good job.
You know what I'm saying?
Good job.
But we know it's a lot more that ain't than is.
Yeah,
Okay. So for the ones that aren't, uh warmfully introducing some type of a positive perspective to it, in relation to having a double standard, and possibly having better communication between the people that we love and the people that we care about and we spend the most time with. All right. It's a teaching moment.
mm.
And if you're learning your child, if you're learning your other human, whoever you spending time with, if it's your wife, your lady, your dude, your girl, whatever you got going on, you spending that time and you learning that person, okay, then it makes sense that when you have moments like that, that those are moments that y'all build together. Those are connection moments where y'all building something together, because they learning, they being taught, and you get to teach. So not only do you get to teach, and teach something that you've learned because somebody else taught you. You get to
Mm-hmm.
pass in the knowledge, right? And foster a better relationship and better communication between you and the other person that you're interacting with. You know, now,
All facts.
you know, and that's the only reason why why I picked that example. Well, that's one of the reasons why I picked that example, because that's where I felt like it would have done me more benefit in the past situations, had like I known that I had that skill set.
Mm-hmm.
I had knowledge of that's what I should be trying to do in other situations that I encountered in my life as well that required that type of attention, you know. But until you actually get to a level of maturity, until you can self-reflect and say, hey, was I acting like this? Till you hold yourself accountable,
Mm-hmm.
you know, then you can't uh apply it for the benefit of someone else. And I just, you know what I'm saying? I think that the double standards, they got us all in a bind. They got, like,
It's bad, bro. There's no way to think about them positively for real. I mean, the parent thing, I get it, but there's no. It's all bad, man. Like they gotta go, right? They can't. I know they can't go, but it'd be nice if folks would actively do their best to try to stop, right? Um,
and that's what we saying. Just be conscious of it.
just be,
That's
yeah,
that's
just be,
just
yeah,
be just be conscious of it.
just,
That's it. You know,
yeah.
just like we was talking about being judgmental and things like that. We're not saying that people gonna stop doing this stuff.
No,
You
nah,
know,
just
we just saying like your word I love so much. Have some consideration.
yeah,
Have some consideration. That's it. You know,
yeah,
have some consideration. And if we have that, then the communication is different. You know, then there's some honesty first. It's not
facts.
it's not manipulation.
It's not manipulation.
It's some honesty first, and then you have better communication because everybody feels comfortable about going forward, you know, in professional settings and personal settings.
Yeah, you actually have positive communications, right? Because nobody's confused. Everybody understands the intent, the agenda. Everybody's following the flow of conversation. Everybody's aware, informed, alert, right? It's not noise, right? Is because that's what confusion is. You know, noise leads to confusion because I didn't quite hear what you said and I didn't clarify, so I just kept going what I thought you might have said, and now I'm doing something completely different. And we say we had bad communication, but it was just noise on the net that never got resolved, right? And yeah, man, we just need to know that we're not communicating well now, so
Right.
that we can accept the idea of consideration, right? Because for the most part, I say we, right, because we all think that we're being considerate in the first place. We tend to think that we are not being mean to somebody. We tend to think that we are not putting somebody down. We're just telling the truth, or quote unquote our truth, right? Um, but it's all consideration is literally the key, and is 100% really hard to do, right? But it's super simple, right? Because all you gotta do is take a step back. Am I about to offend this person? If they said this exact same thing to me, will it offend me? Does it matter how I say it? Could I have said it better? You know, can I say the same thing to Pearl that I can to Jazz that I can say to Pearl? Like, can I speak to them the same way? Like, should I? it's everything has to be thought about, right? Like it's just having consideration and just caring,
This Karen, right?
right? You're just caring about the interactions, you're caring about the relationships, you're caring that you're being heard, right? I'm not sure which one it is better to listening or hearing, but with whichever one affects change, that's the one I want,
They
right?
both do.
Do
Whichever
they?
one is needed. Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
whichever one is needed. Because it's always situational, right? Like what you say was a great point. Like can you say it to me the way you would say it to someone else?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You know me. If you could come at me with whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm never on defense.
Mm-hmm.
Never. You know what I'm saying? I'm paying attention to what's being said. I ain't looking at how it's being said.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at what's being said and why. You know, if I don't understand what you're saying, I'm gonna ask why you ask me that. You know what I mean? I'm gonna ask why. We gonna get to more questions so we can have effective communication. But I'm never gonna be stuck on how. We know the people that we interact with
Mm-hmm.
that have the how component built into their mindset.
Yeah.
So so we automatically know we have to have those people that we care about that have that automatic how built into their DNA. What we have to do is if you care about that person for real, your actions will be reflective, and you will you will think about how you're going to present it to them, because you know that they're going to be more concerned with the how than the what and the why.
Correct.
And we both have a list of those people already that
Whether you like them or love them or don't
yeah,
like them, it kind of don't matter, right?
right,
That relationship, if it's important to you,
right.
you have to figure out how to relate,
You're going to consider it.
right? You should. You should.
Yeah, because you want the relationship and the communication to be effective.
Yeah,
You know?
because you want to maintain this interaction, right? You want to,
Yeah.
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 Consideration is key. Double standards, block consideration.
They block consideration.
Double standards.
See, I would take a personal one. For me to be like, um, I'm not going well because I'm not affected by the how, okay, of how something is presented to me, because I'm a person who focuses on the what's and why.
Mm-hmm.
Then that means that I don't have no compassion because my lady is a how person. If my lady
Correct.
was if my lady was a how person, right? Then I won't have no compassion for her being a how person, because I'm just like, well, it don't bother me. So that's a double standard, and that's lacking consideration. Where it's like, well, I talk to everybody like they crap. So why should I be talking to you like you crap? Or here we go, even one more.
Mm.
I talk to everybody like they crap, right? And I talk to you like they crap. But then as soon as you say something to me, talk to me down, now I have a problem.
I have a whole problem.
You know? So there's just a lack of that all that is just all a lack of consideration,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So that's why you have to we all consider something. Like, you can't be that selfish. It's impossible to be that daggone self. Well, I ain't
Is
gonna say
it
it's
that
impossible.
that's selfish? More is self-centered, I guess. More so
I like self-serving, but I use
self-serving. Yeah.
self-serving, but I use selfish because it resonates with more people in a negative way,
Mm.
right? Like we're gonna do selfish. We're gonna do that word. Because selfish, there's some positives about being selfish. Absolutely. But most of the time, the public hears the word, they think people when it
Negative.
negative the first
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm using it in this context, the negative sense of selfish right now. And it is very selfish. for me not to consider someone who I love, who I care about, who loves and cares about me, and they
100%.
and they actions are reflective of that, you know. So if we can't communicate on a level, then obviously them actions are gonna start looking different too. you know.
Yep.
So
Like,
you need both of them to work. You need that communication to be right and the actions line up. you know Sometimes the actions stay there, sometimes, but the communication has to get back right all the time. um in a professional setting, I seen in the military, I seen sometimes we had some stuff go down where the people weren't communicating well, but they got through the evolution or whatever.
correct.
But you think that there wasn't a sit down where everybody got to talk about that, a debrief
Mm-hmm.
where
Mm-hmm.
we could go over everything and everybody could stress all their issues and problems, so that way when we approach this again, we don't have to deal with this nonsense no more. We get a different result, something more that can benefit everybody, you know, that can be
Not only not only that, right? You also trained, and trained again the way that they wanted you to do it, so that you didn't do that again.
that's a fact.
Right. So not only did you get a debrief, right, to say, all right, we did it, but we can do it better. We're gonna train it till it's muscle memory almost.
Mm-hmm.
To don't matter what, it don't matter your personal conflicts. We gonna get the mission done because I got my job to do. I'm gonna do that. Boom, 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 boom. You gonna do your thing. Boom, 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 and we all go home safely to our families.
Right. Because this is what's important
This,
to us,
all of us.
right? To all of us.
Not
And
not what we got going on.
right, not
Yeah.
individual. And that's where that links right up with what you said, the relationship. That's that relationship
Mm-hmm.
in that space that deserves that much consideration.
Mm-hmm.
In another space, in another type of relationship, whether it be personal, intimate, whatever, it still deserves that type of consideration. And what'll hurt it? Double standards. Double standards will hurt it every single time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, especially like it. I mean, especially when we're looking at double standards, really are not coming in from any other angle but manipulation.
Yeah. I mean, it's only manipulation. Like I can't think of nothing positive, bro. Like, um, it's all manipulation.
Yeah, I was trying to think of one, like what would be a good double stand. Well, maybe
Like,
like like I don't use cash. I only use credit, but you can go ahead and use cash. That's your you know what I'm saying? Like that may be
that's shade or hate. That's like
like, what I'm saying? Now I'm swiping, dog. What's that? Some dollars, a Benji, a blue man? You still playing with that, man? Come on,
I don't know, man. Like,
swipe it. Um, I'm like, is that a double standard? That could be a double standard. That's not looked at negative, but you know, I guess that would be just a choice, a difference of how you like to consume. Um,
yeah,
you know, but it isn't. I really can't see. I've been thinking about. I was thinking about it all day, like trying to figure out, like, man, what would be something that would be like a useful double standard? What could I see that I'll tell somebody else they could do that I would
that I absolutely would not do.
that I absolutely would not do.
What would that be, bro?
I got a joke I could crack, but I crack. I crack it offline. I ain't gonna do it.
Yeah.
I was told I could crack the joke, but I ain't gonna crack the joke. I ain't gonna crack the joke.
Nah, bro, like double standard is all just manipulation, right? And I think it's manipulation just to keep us fighting, just so we won't unify, just so that our relationships be rocky, right? Um, you said double standard, and Sister Jazz went straight to men versus women,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I was thinking about a bunch of different double standard things, besides men versus women.
But that's what's at the forefront
But but
of
that's
you
yeah.
know of our social interaction. Like that's where that gets the most uh drama or attention, or because people are upset. Men, is young men are upset, and some young women are upset, and they have these presets that's like, you know you have to have this, or you have to have that, or if she got this, or if she got that, or you know and these things are the double standards because a lot of people don't have them themselves, or are willing to do them things that themselves, but they want other people to do it. And it's different when it's a standard. Like we established that you should have standards, you should have
Hmm.
some class, some a position about yourself that's like, I I need, I need this. I require this.
That's what I
This is,
need.
this is what I desire,
Hmm.
and but also that in which you need or desire, you should also be willing to give to that other person as well. So
If they need or desire it,
if they need or desire, but I'm saying whether they need or
yeah.
desire it or not, you're not gonna know whether they need or desire until y'all communicate. But I can't sit here and be like, I'm a she need to do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, right? But I'm not willing to do any of those things myself. And that's what I'm saying. Like, even if I don't require it, because remember we said I don't require the how. I don't require the how component at all.
Hmm.
You could yell it at me, you could fuss it, you could cuss it. You know what I'm saying? I'm focused on what's being said and why it's being said. I could yell it and I could fuss it and cuss it to somebody else, all right? And
Hmm.
they may be focused on the how. Then they're gonna have selective hearing because they only gonna hear the certain things that trigger them.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
they not even paying attention to what was said or the
Yeah.
topic or what was going on. They just
Or why
straight
you even
on,
saying anything? Yeah.
right? They straight on how you delivered it.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay. Now, if this person requires that I be compassionate, and I purposely make sure that I have the how together, that my
Hmm.
approach is correct, okay? I know they need that. Just because I don't need it doesn't mean that now when they come at me with an issue that they supposed to at me.
Hmm.
You see? I've already exemplified that, because see, people do that. That'll be behaviors when you're in relationships sometimes, when people are in relationships sometimes, that they be yelling at each other, and then that's just a formal communication. I've seen that.
Hmm. Hmm.
All right. But when you're on a different level and you like, we thinking about things and we communicating, we just ain't over here, this ain't a game. This is real for us. We really doing this every day. You know what I'm saying? We playing like Jordan and Pippen every single day. Okay. It's the playoffs. Scotty, Shaq and
Hmm.
Kobe, right? Every single day. So when we doing that, then you have compassion. You making sure that your other player is straight.
Correct.
Okay. So you making sure your teammate is right. So just because I don't need that doesn't mean that I'm not welcoming to it if it's presented to me. You see, so they should be willing to do the same thing. It's not a double standard. If
I
you
agree with
need,
that.
like remember the whole it goes to that treat people like you want to be treated,
Mm-hmm.
right? It goes to do unto others as you had them do unto you, even though I don't rock with that. You know what I'm saying? I do unto others as I do unto myself that are deserving of it. You know what I'm saying? Um, because I don't treat me like crap. And you know what I'm saying? How the thing go? Do unto others as they would do unto you. People have or would have done a whole bunch of other stuff to me if I wouldn't have been shocked about my being myself.
That's
Okay.
true.
So I treat people how I want to be treated. You know what I'm saying? How I treat my people, I treat people how I treat myself. Okay. Because Pearl take care of herself. All right. And Pearl don't do itself dirty. So if we together and you with
Mm-hmm.
me and we a team and we family and we work, I don't do nobody dirty. You know what I'm saying? If my track record go back, I ain't did nobody dirty. You know, can't say that for a lot of other chumps out here. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? That's where we at with it. But having that significant other person and you making that effort, then it should be reciprocated. Then it's not a double standard, whether I need it or not. It's just that person.
Reciprocal. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it should be reciprocal. Yeah. Their actions should be reciprocated. You
yeah,
know, my actions or they actions, yeah, whatever. But yeah, reciprocal. So
yeah.
that thing right there, we should be, loving each other the same. That's how I look at it, man. Like if we ain't gonna do that and our actions aren't reflective of it, then what are we doing? Because it's constant work. You gotta keep learning, but you gotta keep communicating too. You know, so if not, then it's just double standards. And then it's gonna be like, well, I ain't doing this, and you ain't doing that, because you ain't doing this, and well, you ain't doing that, and well, you ain't doing this, and then we all going in any relation, in any environment, in any relationship, professional or personal. Because it's not good
Yeah.
enough. It's not good enough for me to do, but I need you to do it too. So we've been seeing this eating away at the fabric of, of black culture in the black community
Tit for tat. Yeah.
for too long. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just saying, like, just have a conversation about it. You
Yeah.
know, like that's it. I'm still gonna be affected by these things. I still have
It's
to work
hard,
on
bro, because you're 100% right, but the challenges are people being defensive about everything, right? And it's not always an attack, right? It's not necessarily um let's hit a joke.
it.
It's not necessarily an attack, right? It is you should be able to you talked about the rapper with the explicit lyrics or whatever, right? It's to the point to where if you say you don't like those lyrics, a, a women will defend the woman's right to being an artist in the name of artistry, right? And non-artists start using these words that only apply to people that's really putting their lives on the line, right? Like I'm anti poor people fighting for rich people's money,
Anti-poor people fighting for rich people money.
right? They're talking about that whole whether or not the rich should get more taxed or because they make more money, yes or no, blah blah blah. You know that conversation is like they was it's like so way up here. Like they talk about like if you got $500,000, like how many people don't make $500,000 Talk about, nah, they worked hard for their money. They should. I'm like, man, that's a conversation. Like, what you talking about? Right? Like, that's not even in our pay grade to even have those kind of thoughts. Right? Let somebody else deal with that. But for that to be public opinion and newsworthy, and now we're having public debates over stuff that's not in our pay grade, right? Like things that we really don't understand enough to have commentary on for real.
Yeah, I'm seeing that.
All right, like that's what I be saying. Like it's and I think that's what these double standards do, right? They put everybody, they give everybody a voice that don't necessarily deserve, not deserve them. Deserve it is not right, but
Look, everyone has a computer in their hand.
yeah, right.
If you think it's a phone, then you still living in the Stone Age. It's a
Yeah, the whole computer.
computer in your hand.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So to say you don't own a computer, oh, I don't own no computer. Man,
Not for nothing.
okay.
Everybody got their own Rosie in their hand. Like this is a whole robot, right? Like damn, they make you meals and stuff, right? Like
No. Not yet. we ain't on
not
Star
yet,
we ain't
not
on Star Trek yet.
not yet.
We
Yeah,
ain't on the next generation yet. But but you definitely have access, more
yeah,
tools, more resources, more information. You can get a starting point. Nobody should be sitting around talking about I don't know something, and you got a computer in your hand, you ain't went on Google and just ask them what is, how to, like use your second grade education out here,
yeah.
you
They don't
know?
even have to be great questions. They can be super duper. How do I do this?
Yeah,
How do
that's
I do
it.
that?
It's YouTube has, and I'm not advertising for you, promoting for them, but hey, what I'm saying? It's been beneficial to me in my lifetime.
That's
And
mine. What is mine?
and it's to do videos on just about anything you could possibly think of, something to get you started, and that's the biggest thing. People just gotta start, and it ain't just about doing something to make money. If you want to start loving your significant other the right way, you want to start communicating the right way, you want to start eating right, you want to start
Mm-hmm.
exercising, something, you want to do something different. Nobody's saying that it's right or wrong, or even though I don't play semantics with right. When something is right, it ain't wrong, and it's good, you know. So if it's right, then it's right. But start. That's
Start.
the that's the point. Just start. Don't wait till New Year's to make a resolution. Do it right now. Figure out what you can do right now. Why you waiting till how many days you got? I don't even know how many days you got. You know what I'm saying? Start now. What is going to change about then? Now, if it's something financial, yeah, that makes sense. I can't do it till I ain't got the money, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But if it's something that I could do now, you know, I could start stretching now. I could change that diet now. I could start that exercise regimen now. I could start that saving money now. I could start whatever them things are, that education thing. If I need to learn something, I could
Mm-hmm.
start it now.
Yep.
Get started. That's all we saying is get started, people.
Yep.
You know, get started, and don't look back. Set your goal and do whatever it take to get you. Don't let nobody tell you can't do it. Be realistic though. Because somebody might tell you can't do it because they know you can't do it. you know, don't you try to do something impossible. It can't be done. I'm gonna be the first person to ever do it, man. You know how long the earth been around?
See, that's interesting. You say be realistic, and
Yeah.
that's the thing, right? The influencers are not teaching or talking about reality, right? Like they're not spreading reality. They're spreading fantasy. So a lot of these double standards that you was bringing up, person got to do this, a person got to do that. That's coming from somebody else that that they thought was cool, and they got influenced, and now this thing is spreading, and now it seems as though this is a vibe or whatever. But nah, it's just bad. It's just all bad, bro.
A vibe.
Like it's just all negative, right? Because it ain't the way you feel, right? It's, like they did a whole thing about the whole first date. Don't go to Chili's. Don't go to Waffle House. A whole bunch of other places or whatever, right? And
Man, I seen that now that Cheesecake Factory
Cheesecake Factory.
is a, is a,
How,
like
how dare you,
like
right?
like yeah, like man, I know I'm old for real.
Oh, for real. And
I
my
know
thing
I'm
is
old
like, my thing is like,
because
the
Cheesecake
people, the
Factory.
people, the people that I was hearing having a conversation though, like in real life, not on social media, everybody that was having a conversation were all people in relationships. And I'm
Mm.
saying like this conversation doesn't apply to you. Like y'all been together like 7 years. Like you can go to the Cheesecake Factory still. Like y'all,
Yeah, you
like
can.
y'all can go to like y'all going to the movies is not corny. Like
No.
y'all going to Chili, like even whether I agree with the list or not is not the point,
Mhm.
right? The point is people that weren't even affected by the parameters, full blown married people, right?
Mhm.
Are having debates about this first date thing,
Mm.
and I'm like, think about what we talking about,
Mhm.
right? Like who did this apply to, right?
Dating. People dating. People dating. If you off the market,
It's like,
yeah,
like,
you can go to Cheesecake Factory with your lady. Like I'm sure she'd be cool with that. If she don't, then y'all going somewhere else.
and I know, and I know,
Like,
I know, I know, mad single people that are looking to be in relationships that don't necessarily care where they go. They just looking for somebody to go with,
yeah.
right? So it's like when I see stuff like that on social media, and I hear non-single people having these debates and arguments, I'm like, yo, like this is all a trick bag because single people want to get in relationships. Like they don't care where they go on the first date. Like they just want to go with somebody. They just want to have a first date so that they can have a second date or a third date. In my mind, anyway. Again,
Yeah.
I have a
Yeah.
traditional mindset. You know,
Yeah.
guy meets girl because girl is cute and guy wants to spend time with girl. That's how it is in my mind. Not
Right.
guy sees girl, guy want to waste girl time, guy wastes girl time, girl now is with other girls and guys with the other guy. Like I don't know what the new scenario we in now. I don't know.
Nah, nah. I could tell you it might be guy meets girl. Girl wants to waste guy's time.
Girl wants to waste guys' time. That's crazy, right?
Could be that too. Yeah. Why not?
That's crazy.
Why not?
No, I'm
Girls, it be girls that want to waste guys' time. Like
that's
you could
crazy.
do that. You could do this for me. You could do that for me. But I
That's
know
a
what's
double
not.
standard. That's a double standard right there, right?
That's a
Double
double standard.
double standard right there. Right? Girls are
Yeah.
sugar and spice, everything nice.
Yeah. So I
Yeah,
mean, only thing I say is the woman is the one with the treasure. So
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Men gonna work hard trying to get it. Um,
definitely,
you know,
definitely, definitely.
but it's one of them things where like it's still a double standard. It's still time wasted. And when we go back to um
And I'm
we
anti-wasted time.
we could have a night of memories,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? Or we could have, you know, uh a year or two of
Mm-hmm.
memories, you know what I'm saying? Or we can actually, you know what I'm saying, do this thing forever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we can go through this thing together. Like,
Yeah,
every experience, all the good times, all the
yeah.
lows, you know what I'm saying? Like everything. So like that's peace. To me, that's peaceful. Whether we consider it traditional, old school, or whatever. I see, for me, from my own experiences, I see that the people that are in long-term relationships, that's married, been together, I see the value in the friendship all the time. And that's one of the things that I say, like, that's what that's what we striving to have. The friendship. If you don't have that friendship, then it don't matter about all that other stuff, because all that other stuff is coming with it. But I gotta survive with my friend though. I gotta learn my friend, because they're gonna be there for me when ain't nobody else gonna be there for me. This this married couple was on a thing, and they said the day come before the kids. And I was like, wow, that's interesting. And then when they broke it down, I was just like, that make all the sense in the world. Because what they said was just like, we made a choice to get together and get together and start doing this, start having children, start, building a family together. So we are the first thing. Okay. And as long as we stay strong and we keep building, and our relationship is good, they're gonna be all right, because we was already doing this shit before we even created that.
Correct.
But we got to keep us together. That's why we first, and then everything else is second. It's not a negative second.
Correct.
It's just making sure that the reason why this stuff got going stays intact, stays in place, stays solid, stays as a foundation, stays firm. I was like, man, that's beautiful. I was like, that's beautiful.
Nah, I agree. Right, like, which is different, or doesn't take away from the person that says that they will give their life for their child. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I jump in front of a bullet, or I jump in front of a train for my child. Like there's no need to put those two people in competition. Right. Neither one is saying nothing harmful or hurtful to the other person. Right. And I think that's where these standards come in, because you say that, I feel the need to say this to either defend myself or to assert that I take an opposite position. You see what I'm saying? Like, we're manipulated into not being friends, right? We're manipulated into being adversaries, right? Like this whole friendly competition thing, right? It's training us to be adversaries, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why I don't like it. Right? Like,
Right.
the word, I do think friends could train, we can build with each other and stuff like that, but we can't compete against each other.
Absolutely not.
Right.
Not being on the same team. It don't matter who scored the most points. We
Nah,
gonna win. We gonna win.
we can win the game. I don't care if you
Yeah,
scored
we
all
gonna
the points.
right. We
And
gonna
I
win the
sat on the
game.
bench.
Yeah.
We won the game. Everybody get the
Right.
ring, right? Like
Absolutely.
the towel guy get a ring, right?
Absolutely.
Um, and that's that's where the focus needs to be on relationships, and because that's ultimately what we're trying to get to, right? The team building, so we can actually
Right.
accomplish a goal, right? Which is what I was saying about earlier, because it's kind of semantics. I need a partner that has what I don't have versus have the same thing I have. It's kind of semantics, right? Because Michael Jordan was a completely different player from Scottie Pippen, right? Who's to say what would happen if they both would have been the same type of player? But the fact that
but but in real life, God didn't make it that way, or
I
whoever.
know,
You
right?
know what I'm saying? So like, it didn't happen like that. And Mike is
Right?
Mike, and
Yeah,
Scotty
yeah,
Scotty,
yeah.
but they
You
got
have people,
chips and they work
yeah,
well
right.
together.
and
You
they
know,
work well together, right? Like
yeah.
one alley oop, right? And that 100% worked, right? And only years later, people sitting on the sidelines that did not benefit from their relationship. By benefit, they got enjoyment and entertainment and bonding experiences with their family and friends watching a game. Those are all benefits.
All
Uh,
benefits.
but they didn't financially benefit from actually playing the game to say who was better, uh, Michael or Scottie Pippen, or you know, if LeBron would have played Jordan or this or that. Like, people outside that have no real interest create this narrative, right? They're allowed to create a narrative that somehow creates a standard that like it's crap, bro. Like, it's, you see what I'm saying? Like, two different people, Scotty and Mike, they work well together.
Right.
Years later, people are pitting them against each other when it don't even matter. Like, they're not even playing no more. Like, the rings don't. They still got the rings. I mean, like,
Yeah. I mean, but that's just because social media
social media.
makes things very opinionated, and a lot of people are looking for the negative instead of just looking at the valuable thing that made us all love them in the first place. You
Yeah.
know, like like they still human.
Yeah.
Like they was just as human playing ball out there winning chips
Yeah.
as they are in their personal life, being human, making
Whatever they doing.
mistakes,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, being perfect, being brilliant, you know what I'm saying, learning, growing,
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying. They still doing that. They can't do that. you know
Can't do that.
like we actually thought Bill was Heathcliff Huxtable. You know what I'm
I
saying?
think people really did.
Like, wow, that's crazy.
I think people really did. And I think that's where the outrage comes from, right? Because people feel let down. People feel like this, like
Girl,
this.
don't nobody know. Don't nobody. Man, the only person who could feel that down is his wife. That's
that's
it.
that's what I'm saying, bro.
That's it.
Like the way people was
That's it.
carrying on and having these debates, right? About right and wrong. Like, we're having moral arguments in the streets, in our households, about a person that doesn't affect us at.
And, oh, oh, let me tell you something. Bill Cosby,
Like,
shout out to William H, the all-time great man. Look, when he was going through his things, nothing in my life was affected.
nothing, bro.
Nothing. My health, my wealth, my energy, nothing.
Nothing. I like.
My relationship, it didn't make me want to say, you know what? I need to cheat with like 30 women and pull a bill. Like it didn't, you know what I'm saying? Like it did none of that.
None of that.
It didn't even look at me. It didn't even come to me like he cheated. It came to me like, oh, he was a rich young black man
Yeah.
doing drugs at the time, and that was the drug that they was doing.
Hmm.
And like most celebrities, unfortunately, women go to these. They want to be on the scene. They want to be at the parties. They want to be hanging out. They want to be that. And when they go there, what do they have to offer other than sex?
Yeah.
Because they not there. They getting drunk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And doping or doing whatever. They partying, right? It's
They part.
having fun.
Yeah.
So they not thinking like, oh, I could get AIDS. Oh, I could get an STD. Oh, I could get, a baby, another human life.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? From a
Yeah.
man who just, I seen him take it out of me and put it in somebody else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like right there in your face. So like if that's what you like, you know what I'm saying? Like then, hey, everybody should have their own life experience, you know. But but on the outside looking in, that's not something I should be concerned with,
Not at all.
as someone who enjoys the talent and the artistry that these entertainers, actors do at their job.
I think it. I think it would have been more impactful and more my business if Heathcliff Huxtable uh had a pill gate or something like that, right? Like if Heathcliff Huxtable, uh
In the show, they wrote it in the script.
yeah,
Yeah, that would have
I,
been
I
crazy.
think I think that would affect me and create and cause dialogue for discussion, because that's a character that's portraying a thing, right? So I gotta say so about that. But somebody's personal life, that's not a character. Like
That's
that's
really
their
you.
that's their characteristics. Like
Yeah, that's really you.
like, yeah, like that's different. Heathcliff Huxtable is completely different than Bill Cosby.
Exactly.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and even the stuff like we was talking about with Will and Jada, right? The stuff with them, like they still, come
Yeah.
on, man. You don't like poetic justice, dog? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, like
Yeah.
you don't like Jason's lyric? You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like Jada, man,
Yeah.
stop, set it off. Like, come
Yeah.
on, like, who cares? Come
Yeah.
on, you talking about Fresh Prince of Bel Air? You
Yeah.
talking about,
Summertime.
I Am Legend? You
Yeah.
talking about Summertime? Like, who
Yeah.
cares? I
Yeah.
could care less, man. He living
Yeah.
his life doing what he want to do. All of those things. Let's just talk about what they represent as people, of what they aspire to in their professionalism. Do we still negate that too? Do,
Because that's where, because their professionalism is where we got any aspirations of them as people, right? Like I seen the character, and that's where we fall in love, right? That's where we find our interest in. That is not the person, right? Is their work, is their art, is their input, is where there's value, right? What they offer.
right. And the only people that could be mad at Bill is his wife. That's
Yeah.
it. And who knows what they know? She may not even be tripping.
She
Okay.
may not even be.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's his best friend.
Yeah, they still married after prison.
That's his best friend. And they had to be honest. I don't even think that you can be with somebody that long if you're not honest with them.
Yeah.
I don't think so. They gotta know your secrets. They gotta know something about you, stuff about you don't nobody else know.
Yeah.
Cause you know what I'm saying? Cause y'all together for real. That's the person who got you, no matter what. And you know it because their actions have been reflective of it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So like,
Which is what you look for in a partner, right? Like you look for somebody that will have your back, that will ride with you. That's
yes.
right. Like that's what those are the qualities that you look for to sustain a healthy relationship, right? In any form of the word relationship, a healthy one is productive.
Right. And then the traditional sense is safety, right?
Yeah.
When we start going over these traditional things, like that's the new thing. That it used to not be a thing. It was just either if like if you get married, that's what you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? But
Yeah.
now they got all these categories and stuff like the
Yeah.
traditional, the thought, the you know what I'm saying, the heathen, the this, you know what I'm saying? They got all
Yeah.
these these categories. But like in the traditional sense category, the provider, right? Those things, the provider, um,
Mm-hmm.
providing security,
Mm-hmm.
where women feel like she need to be safe,
Mm-hmm.
whether that comes from um her emotional safety or whether it's her actual
Physical. Yeah.
physical safety, and living, financial safety, you know what I'm saying? And whether it's any of them things, feeling safe about them. All right. Now, when a man already is like, I'm a, like I got a standard where I gotta live a certain way. I have to have this already. Okay. That's a personal standard. That's not saying she gotta have that too, because you already have it. But that safety is something that is of value. So
Oh yeah.
so that communication, it have to be safe communication too. And we have to get to the point where the communication is safe. That's where I'm looking at with Bill and Will and Jada.
Yeah.
Their communication is safe. We seen one thing Will and Jada have exemplified for us, that nobody gets, it go right over everybody's head, is safe communication.
Yeah.
Is openness, that I'm
They had a
willing to tell you anything and
they had a whole
everything
show, right? Called the Red Table Talk,
with
something
no
like that.
judgment.
Well,
And
a whole show.
Will got out from that table and said, I'm still gonna love you and we still gonna be together, right?
Yep.
So that to me right there is the motivation. Not to be like, now, oh, well, babe, can I do this? Can I do that? Oh, you could do what Will did.
Because
You
that
could
is
do what
not the
Jay.
motivation.
No,
That is not the lesson.
that's not
The
the lesson.
that's not the lesson. The lesson is being able to talk to the person, right? Like, most of us will find that we have really good conversations with complete strangers and struggle to talk to people that's close to us or people that's known us for years, right? But strangers on the street or relative strangers, people you see casually, you have a great objective conversation with them. But when it's somebody that you're familiar with, that objectivity goes away, and one or both start feeling judged or demeaned.
Judge or demean, belittle. Yep.
Right, one or both start feeling like that because of the familiarity, right? This person knows my secrets, so it's like you're waiting for. I don't. It feels to me like you're waiting for them to drop the other shoe, or what we say. I told you so, or the aha, or the
They're
right.
scared to be vulnerable because they think a person will use it against them.
Yeah.
Because that's what's common. That's what's mostly
Yeah.
common. You share something with somebody and then they use it against you. You
Yeah.
know, so people scared to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
And most of the time, um, in certain situations, the relationship hasn't been going together long enough. They've been together. Like people will be together, but don't be learning each other. They'll just be coexisting. So, and not
Think,
and not
and
really learning each other.
Correct. And thinking that just because they had the time that they are gaining experience, right?
Right.
I was here, so I must have been doing X, Y, and Z. Nope.
There, you was just in it.
You was just there, but you wasn't in it. Like you wasn't
In, involved.
you were invested or invested
Invested.
or
I would say
uh
invested. I like invested too, especially.
I
I like invested because it is invested in it. Because when you commit to that level of vulnerability, you invested in it.
correct.
If I still got some type of little guard or something where I'm just, I'm like, hey, I'm not going I'm not going I'm not going to do certain things, but I want you to do certain things. But that's the double standard, right?
That's double standard. Yeah.
That's the double standard. So I'm not fully invested, meaning I'm not willing to do what
Correct.
I'm
There's no
requiring.
there's no reciprocity.
Right. It's none. It's just manipulation.
In fact, and it's so much so there's is only it goes it's a slave thing. You have to bend to my will. I am the table or the plate or however they said it, and I'm the one with the power, and you have to do whatever it is that I say if you want to be to breathe the air that I'm breathing. You should be lucky. And I'm like, man, first of all, uh men are outnumbered like 10 to
Right.
15 to 1. Right? Like even if everybody turned to the same sex, that's not gonna happen, right? Like we still outnumbered.
I'm not turning.
I'm not turning.
Unless everybody turning to me. You know
You
what I'm
know what I'm
saying?
saying?
Unless
Like,
everybody gonna be what I already am. Okay.
right, like,
But I don't want to turn the page. You know.
right, like it's all consideration, bro. It's all um, we gotta that the whole being vulnerable thing is a big deal, right? That's a big deal because it opens the door for the double standard.
Yeah, it does.
Because you're defending yourself because you're scared of standing and you're scared of taking accountability for why you did a thing.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
answer the question. Just answer the question. Why'd you do it? I did it because of this.
And be honest. That's it.
Right? Like
And be honest.
it's not about if you like my answer or not.
Right. Be okay. But be okay with giving your honest answer.
Yes.
And whatever come with honesty.
Yes.
You know? Because the thing is like I could say, well, I could lie to you. You know, I could lie to you and then and tell you something that I think you want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually you're gonna find out.
Yeah.
Eventually you're gonna find out. And now I'm gonna look stupid when I could have just told you the truth right there in the front instead of trying to have a double standard, like, well, you don't need to know this. But
you don't
yet,
need to know this.
yeah, but you would want to know if the shoe was on the other foot, right? So, like these things just always, cause confusion. And we are continually seeing the results of this type of behavior, this type of social interaction, continuing on and on and on. And I'm just asking people, we do these lives, you know what I'm saying, because we enjoy it and have fun with it, but also we want people to get something from. We ain't telling you what to do. We ain't suggesting anything. We just introducing perspectives. And if you hear something that you like, man, that might make some sense, evaluate it. That's it. Self-reflect. See how it apply to you. If it don't, leave it right here on the show. If it do, see if it's some good. See if you can apply it in your life and how it could benefit you. Because we not giving no financial advice or nothing like that over here. That's a great time to plug Bows on the Table podcast. You know what I'm saying? Where what we say? It's time to eat with financial fundamentals. So y'all can go ahead and subscribe to that too if you want to. We got some good stuff coming on the way. Bows on the Table podcast at Bows Podcast on YouTube. But definitely it's beneficial if we are considerate and we take the time to be mindful if when we approaching the situation, if we are using a double standard, are we going at it being fair? And especially with the people we love, especially with the people we care about, and that's why I say ain't nobody trying to tell nobody what to do on here. But we know we live in a world where, you know what I'm saying, sometimes it's about survival. So double standard, it might be necessary. That's the reason why I left it in there, God. That's the reason why I left it in there. You know what I'm saying? Because it might be necessary. You never know in the world outside,
Yeah.
it might be necessary. You know, it may be necessary for even myself to protect myself. Um, I can't think of a use case right now, but you know what I'm saying? It sounds good, but
Nah.
you know,
I
but
so in my mind, like an extreme scenario, like where all the sheep, like you surrounded by sheep, and it's like up, they gonna turn on you if they realize that you're not a sheep. Like I don't know, man. It's like it got to be good. It got to be some good somewhere, but it's 100% manipulative so far.
it is it's always gonna be manipulative. It's always gonna be that, you know.
And so I guess the question would be: is manipulation always bad? Right? Because that would be like semantics, right? Like, and I'm
Right.
saying,
And I know we could go too far on manipulation.
yeah,
That's why I just left it at the double standards, because
yeah, yeah.
it's simpler,
Yes
and
and no.
yeah, it's and but not right. It's simpler, but not, because once we go into manipulation, we can start talking about selfishness and unselfishness,
Yeah.
and I mean, so much stuff, using people, and it goes on and on and on when we talk about manipulation. But that maybe we can bring that one. We could run that. You know what I'm saying? That'd be a good topic, because there's a lot of people out here getting manipulated for real, on purpose.
Hmm. On purpose.
On
Like
purpose.
just giving their money to people, and I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest, right? Like
Amen, brother.
that's what I'm saying, right? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
And I'm
saying,
gonna
right?
leave, that right there.
Yeah,
But that's how it go. That's where we at. We living in it. Thank God for another beautiful day.
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? No matter where you at right now, no matter what you're going through, thank God you woke up this morning. You was
Hmm.
able to breathe. I want everybody to have a peaceful and positive start to their week. Thank y'all for joining us again right here on Cigar Sundays live, always with I Am Jazz Garcelle and the guy Ali Dawu L at BK Soul Farm. Make sure y'all join us next Sunday. I don't know, next Sunday is what? Crema? Merry Christmas. Next Sunday gonna be Christmas. I don't know. We doing a show for Christmas. For Christmas.
Yeah,
We
man.
doing
All my kids grown ish. That's right.
this.
I don't lie to nobody, so yeah, I can do a show.
Me neither. Oh no, Christmas on a Monday. So we got Christmas Eve. Yes, we can do a Christmas Eve show. It's going down.
Dope, dope.
Yes. Yeah. All right. So we will see y'all back here on December 24th.
Hey,
And thank everybody for joining the show. We love y'all, man. Make sure y'all hit the description if y'all want to support the channel. We have some links in the description for BK Soul Farm, for I'm Jazz Garcelle, and DBCHEFTV Network. Y'all can go. The holidays coming up right now. Y'all got 15% off all merchandise on the whole website. So y'all want to shop with your boy. This is how you support the channel. By we are black owned businesses, and we have products for sale.
facts.
Now, if y'all don't want to do that, then we're gonna start begging y'all for cash app.
Like the show, family. Like the show.
Yeah, like the show. Hit the cash app. You know what I'm saying? Hit the super chat. All that.
Yeah.
You know
Right.
what I'm saying? We just want y'all to tune in, man. Show some love. If you get something valuable from these conversations that we have, then we winning. Everybody's winning.
Everybody winning.
Everybody's winning. Yep. So everybody, once again, have a positive and productive week. And we will see y'all next Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on Cigar Sundays. Peace, God.
Peace, God.
Yeah. Tonight, babe, something real special. But you know, it's really special when you touch me. It's like I'm comfortable, can't let you go, 'cause you were here.